Okay, so I have considered assumptions of MOT, molecular orbital treatment for octal complex without pi bonding. The next point will be what to draw the MO diagram. So, extremely left side, the metal ion orbitals, it is a T2G, Ag, A1G, and it will be T1U. Extremely right side, there are composite ligand orbitals having symmetry against same A1G, T1U, and Ag. These are the 6 composite ligand orbitals are there. Then these combine actually on the ligand. T2G composite ligand orbitals are not available, and therefore the metal T2G orbital remain as it is, and those are called as non-bonding T2G orbitals. Now, Ag orbitals on metal combine with Ag composite ligand orbital, it can form the bonding Ag orbitals and anti-bonding Ag orbitals. Similarly, A1G metal orbitals means S orbital combined with A1G composite ligand orbital, it can form again A1G molecular orbital for complex. T1U, it is a triplet degenerate. T1U metal orbitals means Px, Py, Pz also combined with T1U composite ligand orbital, and it can form 6 MOs, out of which 3 are bonding MO, those are T1U, and 3 are anti-bonding MO, those are T1U star. So here star indicate the anti-bonding, without star indicate those are bonding, and NB indicate the non-bonding. So in this way 1:1 correspondence take place and we get the MO diagram. So it is a MO diagram, a general MO diagram for octahedral complexes without pi bonding or only with sigma bonding. Then actually if we consider here non-bonding T2G and anti-bonding Ag orbital, so here energy gap is there. Now depending upon this energy gap, whether it is small or whether it is high, we can explain the high spin and low spin complexes. So it is again advantage is that if the delta O value is low, so I mentioned here if small, then electrons entered in Ag orbitals and therefore it becomes high spin complex. So depending upon the energy gap between non-bonding T2G and anti-bonding Ag orbital, we can explain whether complex is high spin or whether complex is low spin. So if delta O is small, then complex is high spin. If delta O is large, the complex is considered as a low spin. So it is the advantage of this particular MOT. It also explains high spin and low spin complex. It also explains the splitting of d orbital. But if we consider VBT not explain high spin, low spin complex. It also not explain splitting of d orbital. So some advantages are there. Although limitations of CFT and VBT are overcome in MOT, and it can explain everything actually. It can explain everything. So it is a MO diagram. Then we have to write the MO configuration. So MO configuration means MO configuration of complex is equal to A1G, then T1U, Eg, non-bonding T2G, anti-bonding Eg, anti-bonding A1G, and anti-bonding T1U. How many electrons are present? Then during the filling the electron in this orbital, total number of electrons, who can decide? The total number of electrons of metal ion in valence shell plus total number of electrons of the ligand. So, and these are filled in this particular orbital, again as usual by Abbott's principle. Electrons are entered with increasing energy. It also obeys Hund's rule. If D is 100, orbital is there. We have to follow the Hund's rule and Pauli's exclusion, the principle. So it is actually the concept is there. So I can explain one example, that is a hexa-echo-titanium third. So I only have example of MOT. First example I consider T1 complex ion, that is a TiH2O6 plus 3. Okay, TiH2O plus 3. So total number of electrons are, the metal titanium plus 3 provide 1 electron and 6 ligands are there. It can provide actually 12 electrons. So 1 plus 12, it becomes exactly the 13. It becomes the 13. We can write down the MO configuration for this particular complex as, so for example, first example, TiH2O6, it is a plus 3. So Ti plus 3, it is AD116. So total electrons is equal to 1 metal ion electron plus the electrons of a ligand. So only valence shell electron, 1 plus 12, so it becomes 13. Then MO configuration will be, MO configuration is equal to A1G contain 2 electrons, T1U contain 6 electrons, then non-bonding T2G, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then Ag contain the 4 electrons, and non-bonding T2G contain only 1 electron. So it is a MO configuration. A1G contain 2 electron, T1U contains 6 electron, then Ag contain 4 electron. So here all electrons are contributed for ligands, and metal electrons entered in NbT2g Ag. That's why delta O is equivalent to 10 dq, and therefore we can explain high spin and low spin complex. High spin and low spin complex we can explain, and actually one unpaired electron is there, so it is again diamagnetic, having magnetic moment 1.73 Bohr magneton. So everything is explained by this particular complexes. I consider another example. Suppose hexaamine nickel second example. Second example will be the nickel hexaamine nickel 2 complex ion is there. So if we consider hexaamine nickel second example, I consider NH36 having plus 2 charge. So total electrons, it is Ni plus 2, that is D816 plus 6 ligands are there, means 8 electron of Ni plus 2, 6 ligand, 6 multiplied by 2, so it becomes exactly 20. Means 20 electrons are there in nickel complexes. Okay, 20 electrons are there in nickel complex. So I have to fill this 20 electron 8 form nickel plus 2 and 12 form 6 ligand. Then MO configuration we can write down. MO configuration as usual. A1G contain 2 electron, T1U contain 6 electron, AG contain 4 electron, non-bonding T2G contain 6 electron. Okay, these are 12, these contain 6 electron. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And AG star contain 2 electrons. So it is a MO configuration. It is a MO configuration. Then we have to fill the electron here. So here 8 electrons are there. 1, 2, 3. In titanium also 1 electron here, 2 electrons here. We have to fill here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So total 8, 20. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All are ligand electrons. Then 1, 2, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, it is 18, 19, and it will be the 20. Gap is small, so there is no question. It is a D8 system. For D8 system, high spin, low spin complex are not possible. So 2n is equal to 2 here. These two are unpaired electrons. So Ms is equal to 2.83 Bohr magneton, and complex is paramagnetic in nature. So in this way we can consider the example. In first example, titanium, total 13 electrons are there. These are 12. Here 1 electron is there, and that 1 electron entered here. Here 20 electrons are there. So 12 electrons of ligand and 8 electrons are filled by Hund's rule. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So unpaired electrons are 2, and that's why complex is definitely paramagnetic, having magnetic moment 2.83 Bohr magneton. So it is actually the second example. First example is hexaamine, hexaacute titanium. Third, it is a D1 system. Hence total electrons becomes 1 plus 12, 13. Now hexaamine nickel second complex ion is the D8 system, nickel plus 2, Ni plus 2, D8. 12 electrons form ligand. So 8 plus 12 becomes 20, 20 electrons are there. Then here 12 electrons of ligand, then 8 electrons of metal, and we have to fill according to 20 electrons. Hund's rule, principle, and Pauline's exclusion principle. So the MO configuration, just increasing order. You remember the sequence. A1G have low energy, then T1U, then AG, then non-bonding T2G, then AG star, then A1G star, and finally T1U star is there. So it is a second example, hexaamine nickel second. Two more examples are there. Those are hexafluorocobaltate 3 and hexacyanocobaltate 3. One is fluorine ligand, another one cyanide ligand. I think in CFT we have already studied that 10 dq value depend upon the nature of ligand. It is decided by spectrochemical series. So cyanide is strong ligand and fluoride is weak ligand. As cyanide is strong ligand, it always form low spin complexes. Fluoride is weak ligand, therefore it always form the high spin complexes. So it is a best example how MOT explain the high spin and low spin complex. So metal ion is same, cobalt plus 3. Only ligands are different. One is cyanide, strong ligand, and fluoride is weak ligand. So in next lecture video, I can explain this particular cobalt complexes of with fluorine and cyanide ligand. And here the aspect is there, high spin and low spin complexes are also there. Okay, thank you.